a Gala Christmas in Vienna. A Gala Christmas in Vienna. I'm not quite as dressed up. I got my blue on, blue Christmas style. This was a 1997 film, and today is my Wednesday, 15 January 2025 viewing of the film. And I'm Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. And my description for this viewing is as a Christmas concert film hosted in the town hall in Vienna in Austria and featuring a number of music pieces, songs. And so they have like a choir. So it's in the per the captioning on the video itself, it's the town hall in Vienna. I did Google it and it says City Hall. At this point in time in this movie, 1997, it was town hall in Vienna. And city in Austria, but a building in Austria is a building in Austria, the interior. But though they did have so it films the concert and the audience, and then it like does kind of, it cuts out to the city and shows kind of some of the different lights of Christmas in Vienna and Austria more generally, because I haven't been to Vienna nor Austria, so I put my trust in the movie makers. And so it's instead of rotating musicians, it's kind of, there's like a fixed choir, a fixed orchestra. They do rotate some of these people kind of up to the front of the musical ensemble. So we call it, all the people are in an ensemble. And they had some of the Christmas classics, and it was a good one to just for like an auditory experience. They did really great on the sound editing and the acoustics of it. I could hear everything. It was clear. There wasn't anything glitchy, and I had actually seen or watched it, and I was like, I remember this. I saw it on TV one year. So I said previously, I think it was in the movie Watch This that I hadn't seen before, and I saw it on TV, and I remember seeing it on TV, and I was like watching it on TV, and I was like, why am I watching this? I already go to church, and I don't necessarily like we went to church every Sunday and stuff, and I was like, why am I watching, like, it's not church, but you know, like you go to the Christmas service at church and stuff like that, and I was just like, why am I doubling up? And I was like, all right, you know what, I am doubling up, but I'm going to sit on my hands all the way through. So I did actually do an exercise of sitting on my hands all the way through. It was just me. I was alone, right? My parents weren't, like, my parents kind of like were like, all right, you guys, let's go to church. I chose to watch this of my own initiative. And I now have done it again. And I didn't even, like, it came on and I was like, ha, 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 ha. Yeah. So, okay. So I put it in my notes on holiday films. It was beautiful music. I enjoyed it. This is one that, like, you know, I have some work on YouTube and, like, or work in general, and just, like, put it on and play it. And it's beautiful music. And it's a concert. It's good, like, acoustic experience. And it got me thinking, the heating system in this house, my room there's heat and air conditioning, and it actually cuts off at night. And so it's kind of a fun one to watch and just think about the acoustics, because I was like, that's something that I've picked up on in this house. This is the house we moved here in, like, what was it, 1995 or something like that. And this top story was built later, but in this room, the heat vents that bring the heat here, at night the heat goes off, so it gets quiet in here. So I can hear in the floor beneath me, and there's hardwoods and tile and stuff, and so I can actually hear things better at night when the air conditioning, the heat is off. So it's kind of so, like, if there's a Kona dog running down the hall, I can hear it better at night than I can during the daytime, because there's no heat flow, like acoustic barrier, so to speak, between me and the floor beneath me. Not to mention there's acoustic energy generated by the moving heated air through the house. So, and the furnace turns off and stuff like that. So it becomes quieter and so easier to hear. And that matters because back in 2023, my mom was going through a hard time and I brought that up back then when she was going through, I got some blood infusion, stuff like that, was having a really hard time. And what she really liked to do was she really liked to listen to Enya back in my dad's bedroom. And so she'd play Enya, and my dad would sleep in the guest room because he didn't necessarily want to listen to Enya when he was sleeping. And so she would press play on Enya, and you know, I could maybe hear it at night when the heat was turned off, but not necessarily so well during the day. And it became her sacred time, her Enya time, listening to Enya in her and dad's bedroom, and Kona too, you know. But sometimes he comes and checks on me at night, or curls up near my door on the other side. I do sleep with my door shut, and he'll leave little tufts of fur, so I know he's been up. I know he's been up here during the night, because I'll open my door in the morning and there will be little tufts of fur. But yeah, so Enya is very sacred music for my mom. It became very sacred music back in 2023, and it's an interesting one to think about, and the power of music. And I was like thinking, what's a very Christmas time, like overcoming all obstacles? And I was like, let's do that. I'm going to put that through a thought experiment, and Enya's a good one. So Enya is a British Isles musical artist, and I am part German, but I'm also part British Isles by ancestral origins. And when I was living in Africa, the man who raped me was a good rapist. He didn't play any music. But had he played Enya, that would have introduced something interesting to the dynamic, because he was full German ancestry, engineer, taller than me but shorter than 6 feet, a little chubby, but not like really chubby, kind of athletic, like into soccer, that kind of thing. And a few years older than me, but not a whole lot older than me. And so it's like, had he played music when he raped me, and like Enya specifically, it would have introduced an interesting dynamic. And this came to mind with this one of where the music, right, he being of full German ancestry, then the music, if he had used it as like a torture method on me, or potentially being like trying to frame it as he wants to be my favorite time ever had, consensual or non-consensual, best sex ever had, kind of thing. I might identify with the music and be able to escape any mental torment via the music, because I share in common with Enya that I am part British, whereas he was pure German. Right? And while I'm part German, he cannot lay claim to the music whatsoever in terms of ethnicity. And so I was like, and that'd be even more powerful for, like, expand the thought experiment. So let's say somebody of, let's use my real life. So I was raped in the first half of 2012, multiple times, multiple occasions by the same person. So do all repeat rapists use Enya? You know, and are they all German, and do they rape women of British ancestry? So it'd be interesting, because my mom is not part German and my dad is part German. So like, let's say somebody of German ancestry, a man and his spouse who's also part German. So two part Germans bring two ginormous German dogs, and rape my mom in front of my dad playing Enya music. And I'm like, well, that'd be an interesting one, because in that group of 6, 4 humans, 2 dogs, the only person who has unique claim to the music being raped is the rape victim, my mom, because she's the only person in that case. So we're saying, because that she's the only person in that case where she's no parts German. So she can be like, I'm pure British Isles ancestry, y'all are German, the rapists are all German or part German, and all of their offspring are German or part German, counting the dogs as offspring. So then that actually makes it quite interesting, doesn't it? If my mom can actually entirely escape through claims to ethnic identity with the musical artist. So what I'm getting at here is music can be a way of overcoming bad things, even if it's used in the bad things act, because the rapist is so Dumbo stupid. Not Dumbo the elephant, but Dumbo like they just don't got a brain. And especially if they brought it in this house, 200 pounds of dog, you know, those can cause vibrations if they're running on the hallways, even up on this top floor. My bed, I sleep with a glass on a table, and it kind of like rattles and the poles rattle. I've covered that in some of my earthquake coverage before, videos, you know, back from, what was it, like 2023? So, you know, and there was multiple earthquakes, it was, you know, like, but not the same day, you know, kind of thing. So it's just been kind of it's an interesting one, and it's a reminder of, this was a very powerful concert, and it was got me thinking about, and there's also the cultural and ethnic component to it of, it's actually possible to transcend a person doing something bad, even in the presence of music, because they were not smart enough to think through their music choice in terms of their own ethnic identity and the ethnic identity of the person they were attacking. So there we go. Merry Christmas. And those are my movie notes on A Gala Christmas in Vienna, 1997 film, 15 January 2025 viewing.